And good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Marvin Bills. Our top story tonight, people living on Lake Freeman in White County are dealing with abnormal river conditions. It's a problem they aren't foreign to. A local group is taking matters into its own hands to solve the problem. I spoke with someone from that group and a business owner who says it's stressful having to overcome this obstacle while dealing with the impact of COVID-19.
Today, the boat is down a little over a foot in the water due to the lake levels being so low.
Owner of the Madam Carroll, Chris Peters, says low lake levels are creating quite a situation for his staff. While there's been lack of rain in the area, abnormal river conditions also derive from another issue.
We started the task force back in 2014 when the lake was down a few feet at that point, and that's when our battle really started.
John Koppelman is a chairperson for the Freeman Lake Environmental Conservation Group. He says a wildlife group called Fish and Wildlife noticed several mussels were exposed by the Oakdale Dam.
And started giving mandates to NIPSCO about a certain amount of flow that needed to go out below Oakdale to keep the dam covered.
And how did the group recommend keeping the flow? By moving more water from Lake Freeman. In 2018, it became a mandate that NIPSCO move water from Lake Freeman to the dam.
Fish and Wildlife doesn't determine it as draining the lake. They look at it as keeping a certain flow going across the Tippecanoe Riverbed. To do that flow, you have to drain the lake because the water's obviously not coming in.
We've just put a whole bunch of capital into making things, COVID approved, outdoor seating, televisions upstairs so you can see down here.
Crew members on the Madam Carroll have tried to add extra steps for customers to safely board the boat. Peters has purchased longer chains to keep the boat afloat. Madam Carroll's ADA ramp doesn't extend like it's supposed to because the boat is so low, the door doesn't open completely.
Now we're, having to rebuild infrastructure. We're welding the door shut so we can change hinges just so the bands can load in this weekend if the lake's not coming up.
Electric company NIPSCO says boaters need to be mindful of submerged objects in the water.
You have areas where, whether they be stumps or old obstructions now that used to be safe waterways, if you're boating and don't know what's under the water, and most people don't, you could hit those, be injured, be killed.
For Freeman Lake Environmental Conservation filed a suit to the district court in Washington, D.C. Koppelman says the group has a court date set in October for oral arguments with Fish and Wildlife to get rid of the mandate. We will continue following this story.